Welcome to the weekly piece on the Parsha from Torah Giants on Chumash by Rabbi Meir Goodman. Welcome to Torah Giants on Chumash. I'm Steve Geller. This week, Rabbi Goodman begins his chapter of Lecha with an introduction to the study of the Avos, Avraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. Any analysis of the context of the Avos in the Torah goes far beyond an interest in ancient history. In Sefer Hadron Lech, the Malos HaTorah, Rav Avraham, brother of the Vilna Gaon, quotes the Gaon's response to the question posed in the first Rashi in the Torah. Since Bereshis contains only 3 mitzvahs, why was the rest of it included in the Torah? Rabbi Goodman explains, actually, there are hundreds of mitzvahs in Bereshis. The official 613 are chapter headings, but the branches stemming from those roots are endless. Every action and word of our patriarchs is a lesson in how and when to act and speak. Rabbi Goodman relates reading Bereshis without learning these lessons is like reading about tefillin without wearing them. Shouldn't the Torah itself indicate that this is our obligation? According to Rabbi Goodman, indeed it does. In Devarim, Moshe Rabbeinu recalls that Hashem told him, I have delivered into your hands Sichon, Melech Heshbon, v'hiskar bo milchama, provoke a war with him. Despite this clear directive, Moshe sent messages from the desert of Kedemos to Sichon with words of peace, saying, let me pass through your land. How could Moshe have contravened Hashem's command to make war, not peace? Rashi explains on the words Midbar Kedemos, although Hashem did not command me to make peace with Sichon, I learned from the Torah given at Sinai, which Kadma in Hebrew, as in Kedemos, preceded the world. Hashem first offered the Torah to Esav and Yishmael, knowing they would not accept it, but nevertheless he tried with peace. So too I sent words of peace to Sichon. Another explanation in Rashi is I learned from you, Hashem, who preceded the world. You could have destroyed Egypt with one lightning bolt, but instead you sent me from the desert to Paro to say gently, let my people go, knowing he would not comply until after 10 plagues and a lot of suffering. So although Hashem told Moshe to battle with Sichon, he meant only that ultimately there would be a war. First, however, Moshe was to emulate God and seek peace. This course was so obvious that Hashem didn't even have to mention it. In fact, when the Gemara in Yevamos lists the 3 things that Moshe did on his own, for which God later congratulated him, this peace offer is not among them, for Moshe was simply following Hashem's example. Likewise, we too must learn from the examples set by Hashem and, as the Gaon said, from those set by our Avos as well. Yet one may ask, why are these directives not clearly stated? Why must we instead deduce them from the actions of the Avos? As Chazal state, Maisa Avos Siman Labanim. The deeds of the fathers are a sign for the children. But here's where it gets interesting. Rabbi Goodman posits that perhaps the answer lies in the expression in Mishlei, he who walks in his uprightness fears Hashem, upon which the Vilna Gaon introduces a truly remarkable explanation. Qualities of each man are not uniform, thus one must walk the path that is proper for him. For although it may be improper for others, in this manner he fears Hashem. In the context of this incredible comment by the Gra, the countless mitzvahs of Bereshis are different from most of the other 613. For the 613 mitzvahs are objective commandments with objective criteria applying equally to all Jews. As we see, incredibly, in Mishlei, the lessons of the Avos vary in application depending on one's situation and level. With this goal of self-enrichment and self-improvement, let us proceed to examine the lives of our Avos as recorded in the Torah. The following incredible interpretation of a well-known midrash can greatly enhance our appreciation of Avraham Avinu and his role in the world. Bereshis Rabbah begins its comments on Lech Lecha with a parable. A man once passed a castle on fire. He wondered aloud how such a castle could stand without a leader. Then the owner looked at him and said, I am the owner. So too, Avraham surveyed the world, wondering how it could be leaderless. So God looked upon him and said, I am the master of the world. This midrash is commonly understood as describing how Avraham deduced the existence of a creator. However, Rav Mordechai Ephraim Sofer Zussman asks an interesting question. Since both the passerby in the parable and Avraham sought a leader, why was the response, I am the owner, or the master of the world? On this basis, he reinterprets the midrash with amazing originality. The passerby who wondered why no leader or guard had extinguished the fire, the owner responded, I am the unfortunate owner who mistakenly left nobody to watch over the castle while I was away. So too, Avraham saw the world re-succumbing to Avodah Zarah and other abominations, ignoring the lesson of the wicked generations described in Noach, and he wondered why no leader was straightening it out. So Hashem looked down and said, I am the master of the world, and I have indeed been looking for an appropriate leader. Since you sense the need for one, I proclaim you the leader of the world. Thus, the focus on the Midrash is not how Avraham found Hashem, but how Hashem found Avraham and charged him with this great mission to preach far and wide about the good and great Creator. And according to our pasuk in Mishlei, this explains Avraham's and the rest of the Avos' responses to their challenges and crises, often with originality and emphasis on Shalom, but all in the quest to serve Hashem unquestionably. With this incredible insight, we can now proceed through Sefer Bereshis with a richer understanding and an appreciation of the lessons inside, like low-hanging fruit waiting to be picked. Thank you again for watching. Once again, please like this video, subscribe to our channel, and tell your friends and family to do so none of you miss another amazing insight from Rabbi Yitzchak Meir Goodman's masterpiece, Torah Giants on Chumash.